Bitcoin, digital gold, or a bubble waiting to burst?
It can't be turned off. It works.
The price has risen to new records.
I think this is Bitcoin's year.
There's a gold rush mentality. Everyone wants to make fast money.
I think that Bitcoin will reach $25,000 or $30,000 within 2 years.
But suppose the ECB says Bitcoin is illegal.
Shortly after the Brexit decision, I bought 1.48 Bitcoin for 960 euros.
Für damals 960 Euro. Und diese knapp 1,5 Bitcoin.
And now that 1.5 Bitcoin is worth more than 13,000 euros.
332 Euro wert. Das ist ganz schön viel.
That's quite a lot, and honestly, I'm not sure what to do with it.
Ich weiß jetzt ehrlich gesagt auch nicht so genau, was ich damit mache. Also lasse ich die jetzt einfach liegen.
Should I wait for it to go up, or should I sell and pocket the profit? No matter what the price is now, it'll change a minute from now. It's highly volatile. I'm in the Netherlands to meet Didi, who's living on a campground with his wife and 3 daughters. That's because he sold his house, his cars, practically everything he had, and put the money into Bitcoin.
This is the living room and kitchen. The cat is always over there when there's a camera. I think she's had media training.
A year ago, the family decided to travel the world and give up their consumer lifestyle.
We didn't want the pressure anymore. We just wanted to live.
And not have to work to pay off the house.
Or for luxury.
Didi gave up his job. Now he spends his days trading various cryptocurrencies and seems to be doing okay.
My office is minimalistic. I don't have a chair. It's a musical instrument and a chair at the same time. What I do is basically buy and sell. Bitcoin was at around $7,000.
When was that?
At 6 this morning. And now it's just $6,600. It's fallen by $400 or $500. So now I buy, because I expect it to rise again. I buy and then I sell again. But now I think it'll keep slipping a bit.
You do that every day? Look at the price and watch how it develops over the course of the day?
Yeah, that's what I basically do. Not so much with Bitcoin. Bitcoin is a little bit like gold used to be. Gold always has a value. I have a lot of Bitcoins, but I don't sell them very often. Because I think Bitcoin will reach $25,000 or $30,000 within 2 years.
You really think so? Why?
Just the way it is.
The crucial thing for the world of Bitcoin is that it's a finite resource. The protocol sets the maximum amount at 21 million units. Bitcoins are not just there for the taking. They have to be gradually mined, something that now takes place on giant computer farms.
Altogether, there are 21 million Bitcoins. Right now, almost 17 million Bitcoins are in circulation. If you look at the world as a whole, only 0.8% of people have started using Bitcoin. That's nothing yet. If 10% of people worldwide started using it, then Bitcoin would have to see a big rise in value. Otherwise, I can't distribute it among all the new people. That's the calculation behind Bitcoin. That's why experts say it could be $100,000 in 3 or 4 years.
Living in just 55 square meters while getting rich from trading Bitcoin. I find Didi's lifestyle hard to understand. Room 77, a bar in Berlin's trendy Kreuzberg district. Bitcoin traders meet here regularly. The mood is jubilant. This was the day the Bitcoin price reached 7,000 for the first time. Room 77 was the first place in the world to accept Bitcoin as payment, a decision made by owner Jörg Platzer.
I've been involved for decades in hacking and cypherpunk. In that community, there was always the vision of developing digital cash. There's really nothing that can go wrong with it. It can't be turned off. It works. What it's about is creating a financial system without banks. Basically, it's about financial self-empowerment. I have my money where no one can take it away from me. No one can confiscate it or inflate it away or slap it with negative interest. And I can send it wherever I want to.
The technology behind Bitcoin is the so-called blockchain. Shermine from the Blockchain Hub gives me a lesson in internet technology.
The protocol behind Bitcoin is called the blockchain. It's an operating system for new data structures for the next generation internet. The internet we have today is deeply flawed. We don't own the data on it. When we send our data to a service, whether it's a bank or Facebook or Twitter or whatever, we're turning over the ownership and control of our data to those companies, which then store it on their central computers. The system is based on the client-server principle. Data are stored on a computer, let's call it the server, and called up by another computer called the client. What's different about Bitcoin is that when I send you money, every computer in the Bitcoin network, every computer that has downloaded the Bitcoin protocol has the same information about Bitcoin transactions. So when I send you money, a bank server doesn't have to validate that I have the money and that you are you between two banks. Instead, the majority of the network says, yes, this is correct. Then the transaction goes through and is carried out automatically via a so-called smart contract.
The way you describe it, it sounds like the currency everyone has been waiting for. And it sounds like a better way to transfer money. So why is it still such a niche thing?
It's still a relatively young technology, although Bitcoin has been around for 10 years. There was internet in the 1960s, but it wasn't until the 90s that it had grown into the mass market, so to speak. 2017 is the year of Bitcoin. It's finally arrived.
Dennis has been there from the beginning. He works on the stock exchange but sells gold and silver on the internet as a sideline. Payment is exclusively in cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin.
You don't need much technical know-how to use Bitcoin. You need to know how to use a mobile phone. I think most of us do. And where to get Bitcoin for 50 euros, a meetup like this is useful. There are a few things you have to know. You're the caretaker of your money. If you drop your cell phone in the toilet, your money is gone. If you lose your private key, your money is gone. On the other hand, no one decides what to do with your money but you.
Is it secure?
What, your phone or Bitcoin?
Bitcoin. I mean, can I be hacked?
In principle, Bitcoin is secure. Whether your telephone or your computer is secure is up to you. If I'm skillful enough to steal 100 euros from your wallet, you can't say the euro is insecure. Your wallet is insecure.
Guests in Room 77 have been paying with Bitcoin for years. My 1.5 Bitcoins have just been lying around digitally since I bought them. If I want to use them as payment, I have to transfer part of them using a wallet app. I'm at tech magazine T3N in Hanover to meet the online editor-in-chief, Sebastian. For a while, staff here could choose to be paid in Bitcoins.
We used to be able to exchange 44 euros of our gross salary into Bitcoins, and the employer put another 44 euro on top. We could choose that.
A few businesses and restaurants in Hanover accept Bitcoins. We go to one of them for lunch. The Bitcoin price is so volatile that a meal could cost 10 euros today, 15 euros tomorrow, or maybe 5. It's an odd feeling. Is that also the reason why people don't like to pay in Bitcoin at the moment?
Definitely. I don't do it much either. I think that Bitcoin has failed as a payment currency because it's gone so high. Honestly, you're paying for my lunch in Bitcoin. That's very kind of you. But I wouldn't like to get death threats from you a year from now because you regret it then.
I'll send you a screenshot. I'll pay in Bitcoin. Your balance is insufficient. Huh? It says 30 and the bill is 27, or is there some huge fee? For a bill of €16.50, I paid a fee of €4.06. Not so convincing. Are we in a Bitcoin bubble?
I can't really answer that. There are a lot of different views on that. I could imagine it as an S-curve where it goes down again and then really takes off. But I could also see it bursting. It's kind of hard to assess because we don't know what regulatory action will be taken. Yes, it's a decentralized and globally distributed technology. But suppose the ECB says Bitcoin is illegal. I don't know how the markets would respond. Obviously, there are many people who stand behind it and who don't care much if Bitcoin is at 500 euros or 20,000 euros. But meanwhile, there are enough people saying quite clearly, I'm in this to make money. And if policymakers or the central bank step in, that's bad news, and I'll sell.
Dann sind das schlechte Nachrichten und dann stoße ich den ganzen Krempel ab.
What a huge issue. Finance, cryptography, politics, Bitcoin has it all. And me? I could sell my Bitcoin for 960 euros and recoup the purchase price. But maybe I'll hang on to it and watch and see where it goes.
Und gucke einfach, was draus wird. Ich weiß es doch auch nicht.